Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It's time for our weekly recap of Sisters. This is season 2, episode 17, and it was titled Addicted. All right, y'all, if y'all are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And also, if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. I can't believe we already on episode 17. That seemed like it happened fast. But anyway, y'all, we picked up where we left off with Zach freaking out in the jail, okay? So the cop who getting on my nerves, you was selling drugs. I wasn't selling no drugs. Yes, you was. It say it right here in your record. It was say it right here. It wasn't me, I swear. I swear it wasn't me, man. I swear it wasn't me. Yeah, you know what? I read the police report and they said that you was a model inmate. And now you on probation, so you know what that mean, right? You going back to jail. Oh man, I swear it wasn't me, man. You tell that to the DA. Like, she mad. I said, why she so mad, Jesus? He like, I need a lawyer. Can you call my lawyer for me? Call Andi and tell her, I ain't calling none of your hoes. They ain't one of my hoes, man. They ain't one of, she my lawyer. She gonna be my lawyer. I said, what kind of lawyer is Andi? Because she just be doing criminal, tax, divorce. She been doing a whole lot. But anyway, she was like, you know what? Because I'm going to tell it to you straight. You a fuck up. Ain't nobody gonna tell you the way I tell you. Man, that's all right, whatever. Fine, that's fine. F you, or whatever. So now he mad. He didn't stop crying and all this other stuff. And she was just like, I was stupid enough to have hope in you. I don't give a fuck. So he mad. He talking about he don't care. He go sit down. She look at him one last time and then go on and walk away. So at Andi's office, Fatima comes into the office. It's like, girl, it's after 5 o'clock. I'm finna head on out of here because you ain't paying me no overtime. Unless you paying me overtime, then I stay. She was like, no, girl, you can go ahead and leave. We ain't got enough money in the budget because they was paying me $5 million a check. So go on home, girl. So she was like, all right. So then Andi's sitting there. She called Gary up, child, talking about something. I know I shouldn't be calling you or whatever, but, I'm on my way home, and I thought you could meet me over there or whatever. He was like, oh, okay, I'll see you later, baby. I knew you would call me. I knew it. So then she hang up. So then we see Fatima, she walking out to her car and stuff like that. She listened to her messages. She hears Zach message to her or whatever. And then here come Hayden old ass with his big ass suit on. Sorry, get up for this suit, okay? But anyway, he come up to her. She like, is you stalking me? He was like, no, I parked right there. She was like, oh, okay, well, what did you do? I ain't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, let me find out. So then she goes to her car. He was like, well, what about that dinner tonight? You ain't gonna be free? So then he go, and she was like, I think she said screw you or something. And then he go walk off or whatever. So at the bank, we see Maurice, he counting the money, talking about if I had all this money, and Jacoby like, don't do that. He was like, bitch, please. He was like, look, don't call me a bitch or whatever. And he was like, well, I call everybody a bitch. It's a term of endearment, He was like an endearment for a female dog or whatever. And so Maurice was just like, all right, fine. I won't call you no bitch. Or something like that. But then don't ask me to help you with your reports and all this other stuff. He was like, all right, whatever. So then Jacoby was going at him. And then Jacoby was somehow called him like, well, you looking like a bitch or something like that. And he was like, oh, I'm looking like a bitch. Oh, so now you grew balls and getting nasty. He was like, well, you been nasty. You been real disgusting to me. And if you don't stop, then I could get your ass fired. He was like, get me fired. Look here, bitch. Like, you know how Maurice be getting, child. And then Bree walks up or whatever. And so Jacoby like, oh, hey, Bree, how you doing? Well, I finished my reports and stuff because, I do them while I'm working, unlike some people. And so she was like, like some people, whatever, And so then he left like a little sticky note on the thing saying like, meet me for happy hour, yada, yada, yada. So then he was like, well, I'm out. So he left. So then Bree and Maurice, they talking and stuff. And Maurice like, he don't like him. And I saw that note he left on your thing. And she like, well, why you don't like him? Like, what's going on? He was like, well, he been talking to me all crazy and stuff. Like, what did he say? Well, he told me not to call him a bitch. She was like, well, you shouldn't be calling him a bitch. I mean, I call everybody that, and I guess you like him and stuff. But what about Calvin? Well, what about Calvin? He ain't called me and nothing like that. Okay, because, I guess you go on to Jacoby because he all tatted up and stuff, girl. You like him. I mean, Girl, that man is fine. He is so fine. He is fine, girl. He got all the tats and stuff, and then the muscles, and then his hairline a little crooked. But I love him, though, girl. I love him. I said, oh, my God. I said, Maurice is a hot ass mess. So she was like, well, do you love how straight he is? And he was like, no, I ain't gonna be chasing after him no more, because she was like, well, what changed your mind? Well, you live and you learn, girl. You live and you learn. Getting beat up in the parking lot with Chichi Day. I said, oh my God, stop. So then they go back and forth, and then she ends up leaving or whatever to go, because he said, like, well, you got your head on another dick or in the clouds or something like that. She was like, all right, well, you know what, lock up, I'm out or whatever. So then we see Danny at work. Preston's sister roll up, and she like, oh my God, y'all just got money to be buying flights to come back in here to see me. She was like, no, my flight just landed. I came, to talk to you or whatever, because Preston told me what my brothers did, and I wanted to check in on you or whatever. And I'm not like that, because remember, I'm the one who introduced y'all. And she was like, oh, okay. So, Danny kind of more reserved because of what happened with the brothers. So she don't really trust the family too much. So the sister kind of saying, like, she told the mom that the brothers was acting a fool, and she don't agree with them, and she apologized for her brothers acting all crazy. And Danny was like, well, they show up again, tell them I know some hood niggas, and they will come here and beat their asses and stuff like that. So let them know I know hood people just as country as y'all is, and they will handle things. She was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, do you like my brother? And she was like, yeah, I like him. Well, he told me he really likes you. He really likes you and stuff. And I just want to make sure he doesn't get his heart broken, So she was like, well, he gonna be all right. He gonna be fine and stuff. So she was like, all right. So then the sister leave, and then Danny called Bree up to kind of tell her, the sisters rolled up and stuff. And then, she was gonna meet Bree for drinks, because Bree was like, well, I'm headed to happy hour, girl. She was like, oh, well, good, because I need a drink. She was like, no, I'm meeting somebody. She was like, who, Panty Boy? I said, oh, God. She was like, no, some other guy from the bank and stuff. She was like, oh, okay, girl, well, that's good. You should be out here dating people and stuff. And make sure you take him back to your place, because you need a little tune-up. She was like, ain't nobody having sex with him. Bye, Danny, bye. And so then we see Andi. She pops up at Karen's business and stuff like that. So Karen like, girl, what's up? You just popping up and stuff. You ain't let me know that you was coming by and nothing like that. And she was like, well, can we talk? Can we talk in your office? She was like, girl, ain't nobody here. Like, let's sit down and talk or whatever. So then Andi, she feel guilty because Gary gave up so much. And Karen like, well, you don't think that you gave up a lot to be with him? And she like, look, you don't understand. Can you just listen? She was like, all right, I'm listening. She was like, well, I just feel like I'm behind. Like, I feel like I was supposed to be married by now, and I feel lost and stuff. And she was like, well, what do you mean? She was like, look, I am still in love with Zach or whatever, but you see how I had to leave Zach because it wasn't going to work out or whatever. And I see it wasn't going to work out. And so then Andi want to be like, oh, well, you just ain't, but she said, you using Aaron the same way I'm using Paris for this to get back at them or whatever. And when Zach come around with that dick, you gonna be jumping back on him and stuff. And Karen was going back and forth. She was like, you know what? You want to argue. That's what it is. You want to argue. Like, what's going on? Why you want to argue with me and stuff like that? And it was basically Andi projecting her bullshit on Karen because she about to jump back in with Gary. So she trying to make herself look better because she want to make it out to be Karen doing all this stuff when it's really Andi who about to jump back on Gary's dick or whatever. So I was just like, look, she was like, is you seeing Gary? She was like, no, girl, I'm not seeing Gary. She was like, you sure? She was like, yeah, I'm sure I'm not seeing Gary or whatever like that. She was like, okay, all right, if you say you ain't seeing Gary, then I believe you ain't seeing Gary. So she was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna just go home. Give me a glass of wine. She was like, oh, okay, girl, well, I come over there with you, the shop closes. She was like, no, I just want to be alone. I've been around y'all, every day. So now I just want to be alone with my thoughts and stuff. She was like, all right, well, just call me if you need me because, I'm close by. She was like, all right, we'll do. So then we see Fatima. She going to the jail to post bail for Zach. So, of course, she meets up with the cop. And, the female cop. And the female cop all in the business. Like, who is you? Is you a lawyer? How he know you? And stuff. She was like, well, no, I got him involved in the program, Chain Breakers and stuff. She was like, oh, okay, I know about that program. And they give them a company car. So then she putting it all together like, maybe Zach was telling the truth or whatever. So then she was like, well, he don't have no bail. And she was like, so Fatima was like, well, do you know why he was arrested? Can you tell me? She was like, no, I can't tell you because he still got to talk to the judge or whatever, so you can have a seat. So then we see Fatima, she calling somebody saying like it's in reference to Zach, and then the cop calls Fatima back over and was like, all right, well, come with me or whatever. So what's second? Bless me, I'm sorry, y'all. So then we see Bree. She at happy hour with Jacoby, and she like all uptight and stuff. She all like I was just like, girl, like chill out, drink some more wine or something like that. And he's trying to find out about her, so he asking her questions like, who you seeing? And well, I heard Maurice, he was saying some stuff about somebody, and so she was like, oh, you was being nosy, you was trying to find out and stuff. And so then they get on the topic of Maurice, and he was saying like Maurice is over the top, which Maurice can be over the top. He can be a little extra, especially with the whole loud bitch and all that. Like, why is we doing this at the job? Like, if we wasn't at work, like, okay, whatever. But you at work, like, you loud in the bank. So he was saying like, why he act like that, why he act so flamboyant and stuff. And so now, Bree all saved and educated on, gay behavior and whatnot. So now she like, well, you can't be talking about people, and why are we judging the way people behave and stuff like that? And so, what's the face name? Jacoby was like, well, you feel like a dude bigger than me should be acting like that? Like, he not a female, why he acting like this or whatever? And so she like, well, you shouldn't be, you know what, I'm gonna go. He was like, no, don't leave, like, challenge me, challenge my opinion or whatever, like, talk to me, like, educate me. I don't know, because I haven't grown up around guys like this. And I'm like, where he grew up at? Where he grew up at? Because I grew up in the hood and I was around some flamboyant gay men. So, like, where the hell did Jacoby grow up at? Like, dude. But anyway, especially in Atlanta. Maybe he's not from Atlanta. But at any rate, he like educate me, challenge my opinion. So then she says like, well, look, you can't be talking about Maurice like that. You can't talk about any gay person about that. That's how they act, and that's who they are. Or that's how the person is, and yada, yada, yada. So then he like, all right, well, I'm going to work on that. But, he don't need to be calling me no bitch and stuff like that. So she was like, well, yeah, I did talk to him about that. And, we going to work on him with that. So then he was like, all right, well, let me get you another wine. I'm going to get another beer. And then we can discuss some things. So then she starts talking to him about Alonzo and how it was a hate crime. And that's what the last we saw of them. Then we see the cop. She brings Zach in to talk to Fatima, because she ended up bringing Fatima back to the little room where Gary and Andi was in the whole time, child. So then Zach crying again, and she was like, well, what did you in here for? He was like, it was credit day. First they said it was credit card fraud. My ex talking about something. I charged up $5,000 on her credit card. Did you? No, man. You sure? Yes, I'm sure I wasn't me or whatever like that. And then what the worst part is? They just said it was a kilo of coke in my trunk. I said, oh, Lord. She was like, oh, my God. And so then, like, the wheels is clicking. She like, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. She was like, what? What you mean you believe me? So, wait a minute. Like, you gave me the car, so then you just believe me all of a sudden? So now I guess he's trying to say that she put the coke in it. Boy, bye. She was like, fool, the car was at my house. If they would have found that at my house, I'd have been locked up with you. Like, put two and two together, fool. So he like, all right. He was like, well, I just thought like this real estate. She was like, because he was saying like the real estate wasn't legit, or the people. She was like, it's legit. I know the people. It's legit. He was like, all right, well, they need to do fingerprints on that coat, because it wasn't mine. You ain't gonna find mine on there. She was like, all right, I'm gonna get you a lawyer. Why I need a lawyer, man? I just told you it wasn't me. Fool, why else would you need a lawyer? I said, Zach, you sound stupid. She was like, I got you. Don't worry. We're going to get out of here. You're going to get out of here. Don't worry. It's going to be taken care of, yada, yada, yada. So then she leaves out. She calls Hayden and invites him over for some wine and stuff like that, because she already know that it was him, because he was making it obvious that he did something. Like, stupid. Like, you ain't never framed nobody for no nothing. You just all obvious with it. You sure you ain't going to be free tonight? You sure he ain't going to cancel on you tonight? You sure? You might as well said you put the damn coke in the car. Like, out of here. And then we see Danny. She back at her house or whatever like that. Preston had cooked and cleaned up and whatnot. And so they bring up the sister, and he was like, well, she's a good one, Danny. And she was like, I don't know. I just don't trust it and stuff. And he was like, well, I'm telling you that she's a good one. She's a good one. She was like, all right. But why we got 3 plates out here? He was like, well, I'm trying to say, she was like, look, I know you like Zach and stuff, but he is not I don't want to see him tonight. He was like, now, Danny, now, you know, if Zach was here, we still got food here. He ain't here. She was like, oh, okay. Well, who the 3rd plate for? He was like, I've been trying to tell you I invited my sister. Why did sister pop out the bathroom, child? I said, Lord have mercy. Why did he start drinking a bottle of wine? I said, girl. And then the main event. Okay, so then we get to Andi. She got a cute little outfit on. You know, she going to the door. Of course, it's Gary there or whatever. He's sitting there with a little envelope or whatever. And Andi like, I don't know why I called you over here. I hope I don't regret it. And he like, well, you know, just tell me. She was like, tell you what? I don't really have nothing to tell. He was like, well, let me go first. So I just want to show you 3 things. So like this right here, this is my ticket to Boston. It's a one-way. And I can leave tomorrow and not come back if you tell me to. And then here go to paperwork for the divorce. And then they looked through all of that stuff and they found her fingerprints and her signature on stuff on paperwork that was hooked up with that old boss of yours and the other old Morris and stuff like that. And you know, and I told her if she don't sign these divorce papers, she gonna go to jail. And you know what? She ain't want to go to jail, so she signed the divorce papers. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I didn't think she would be into nothing like that. Girl, you ain't know her. Shut up. So then she like, what about your first wife? My first wife, like, look, it was only a month. I was drunk. And then she lied about being pregnant. It was a no. You don't think I needed to know that? Well, I didn't even want to remember it. I was 19 years old. I didn't want to remember it. I'm telling you, it was a no. Like, I don't even think about her no more. I don't even know her. Like, who is she? If she walked down the street, I wouldn't even recognize her no more. I don't know. And so she was like, okay, well, I don't know what to say about this. Look, Andi, look. I love you, girl. And I always wanted to be with you. And I will continue to love you. And if you say you don't want to take me back, I'll be brokenhearted for the rest of my life. But I'll think about you all my life. And I probably won't even move on. Lies. But anyway. So he was like, I'll be sad for the rest of my life. You know, just please, baby, just tell me to stay. Please, baby. Tell me to stay, baby, please. So she looking there dumb. He like, you know what? I promise you, I'm the man that I told you I was going to be. I promise you. And you know what? But you get so jealous. And it's so scary when you get jealous and stuff. You know what? I told you it was 3 things. So here go the 3rd thing, girl. That's my number to my counselor. And I'm going to see that counselor 3 times a week. I said, damn, that's a lot. Like, damn, you that fucked? Okay. But it's like, and you know, if you tell me to leave and I got to go to Boston, I'm going to go find a therapist up there and talk to that therapist. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, you know, just tell me to stay. I can't say that. I was like, oh, yay, Andi. Go ahead, Andi. He was like, well, you know what? I got one more thing. I told you, if I was ever to get divorced, that I would marry you, girl. And he get down on his little knee and stuff. He got a little Tiffany box or whatever. He like, Andi, will you marry me? She like, oh my God. And so then he opened up the box and was like, you know what? I promise you I'll do better. I pray you change your mind, girl. And this ring right here is a promise. And I will wait forever to hear a yes from you, girl. This ring is on hold for as long as you want it. And I'm going to wait for you. She like, oh my God. So then he like, all right. Let me, no. I can't say yes right now. Oh my God, no. I got to think about it. Oh, I got to think about it. So then he sits the ring down on the counter. Child, if she ain't slob him down, I said, Andi, you is stupid, girl. So she goes and all the kisses and everything like that. She slobbing on his face. She licking his nose, all that stuff, child. And so he like, all right, girl. All right. She like, okay. So then he leaves the ring with her. Child, when he go to leave to open up the door, who walked in the door? Karen. She was like, hello. He was like, oh, hello, Karen. And that's how it ended. I said, oh, Karen about to get it, Andi ass, child. Because she knew that something was amiss when she came in there projecting her bullshit, onto Karen, and she was thinking like, wait a minute, something going on here. And sure enough, she knew, and she walked in that door as Andi was trying to leave, and he looked all guilty like, oh shit, she about to tell her right now, don't take my ass back, and for me to head up to goddamn Boston. Boy, you better use that plane ticket. But then again, Andi gonna call you as soon as you get up to Boston, and you got money to fly back down. So one-way ticket my ass. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all felt about the episode down there in them comments. If y'all are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you ended up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in Love After Lockup. Peace.